Hello friends, Electronics Kannada YouTube channel ಗೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಸ್ವಾಗತ. In this video we are going to discuss BMRCL maintenance paper which was conducted in the year 2019. In this part 2 video I am going to cover question number 26 to question number 50. In my previous video I have discussed question number 1 to question number 25. If you have not gone through that video, links are provided in the description or you can click on the I button. Moving on to 26th question, what they have given is while booting the operating system ಅಥವಾ OS is loaded into. See, we are having primary memory and we are having secondary memory. Secondary memory ಯಾವ್ದು ಫ್ಲಾಪಿ ಡಿಸ್ಕ್, ಹಾರ್ಡ್ ಡಿಸ್ಕ್ ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಸೆಕೆಂಡರಿ ಮೆಮೊರಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಪ್ರೈಮರಿ ಮೆಮೊರಿ ಯಾವ್ದು ಬರುತ್ತೆ ರ್ಯಾಮ್, ಅಂದರೆ ಇನ್ನು ಟೆಂಪರರಿ ಸ್ಟೋರೇಜ್ ಥರ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ. See, CPU if it wants to access hard disk, lots of time has to be involved. ಸೊ ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಟೆಂಪರರಿಯಾಗಿ OSನ ನಾವು ರ್ಯಾಮ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ. So option A is going to follow. Now what does RAM stands for? Random access memory. CMOS is out of the box. ROM stands for read only memory. Secondary memory is hard disk. See, the operating system will be loaded into secondary memory, but you are going to temporarily bring into a primary memory, say RAM. So while booting especially we are going to transfer the data from secondary to primary storage. Hello friends, till now if you are not joined my telegram group, ನೀವೇನಾದರೂ telegram group ಇನ್ನೂ ಜಾಯ್ನ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ links are provided in the description or else you can scan the QR. Moving on to 27th question, what they have given is the ratio of modulus of elasticity. See, we know that from Hooke's law, stress is proportional to strain. Stress is proportional to strain. So if I want to remove this proportionality constant, I am going to introduce Young's modulus, or in turn call it as y times of strain. So y, that is Young's modulus, is defined as stress divided by strain. What is the unit of stress, or how you can define the stress means it is force acting per unit area. Strain, it is like the amount of elongation divided by, or the ratio of elongation to its actual size, nothing but del L by L or del T by T, like this you can take. This force upon unit area I am going to write it as newtons per meter square. Why? Force is having a unit as Newton, area is having a unit as meter square, whole divided by, see, say suppose if I am defining this length as meter, so variation will be in terms of meters only. So overall this stress divided by strain, which will be having a unit as a newtons per meter square, right? So they may ask you what is the Young's modulus of steel. At that time you should tell it is 200 giga newtons per meter square. So they may ask you one more question. Is Young's modulus a material dependent? Yes, Young's modulus is a material dependent. So the suitable option that is going to follow is option C is correct. Now they are asking the group of 4 bits is known as. It is known as nibble. It is known as nibble. Bit means only one value. Either it can be logic 0 or logic 1. In short, I am going to say it is 0 or 1. Kilobit. Kilo means what? 10 power 3. It is 1024. Right? Byte means 8 bit of information. So 8 bit I am going to define it as a byte. Similarly, you have to define what do you mean by word, right? So here the suitable option that's going to follow is option C is correct. A rotor in the case of induction motor always run in. We know that we will be having a rotor as well as a stator, right? So when the rotor is catching the speed of a stator, right, at that time we will be telling that they both are synchronized. But always in the case of induction motor, this rotor speed will always be less than that of the stator speed. So that means what? At less than the synchronous speed. So always slip do exist. So option C is going to follow. 30ನೇ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ ಏನಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಬೈ ಕ್ಲಿಕ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ವಿಚ್ ಬಟನ್ ಒನ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ರಿಟರ್ನ್ ದ ವಿಂಡೋಸ್ ಟು ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಪ್ರೀವಿಯಸ್ ಸೈಜ್. ಸೊ ನಾನು ಪ್ರೀವಿಯಸ್ ಸೈಜ್ಗೆ ಏನಾದರೂ ನಾನು ರಿಟೈನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಯಾವ ವಿಂಡೋನ ಕ್ಲಿಕ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಮಿನಿಮೈಸ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಗೋನ್ ಟು ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ದ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್. ಮ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿಮೈಸ್ ಐ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಡೂ. ರೀಸ್ಟೋರ್, ರೈಟ್, ಸಪೋಸ್ ಮಿನಿಮೈಸ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಐ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ರೀಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಇಟ್, ರೈಟ್. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ಲೋಸ್, can't be. Close and the permanently close. So you'll be having a dilemma whether it is B or C, right? This kind of questions, be very much careful. All MS Excel formulas will begin with dash symbol. Plus in the start agadilla. See, say suppose sum of, say n1 in the n10 columns ganta ನಾನು add ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ನಾನು ಏನಂತ ಬರಿತೀನಿ, n1 is to n10 from equals to, I'm going to begin with equal to symbol, or else I can write equal to sum of, I have to define it as n1 n2 so on to n10, right. Or else if of conditions are nanu declare ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. All sorts of flexibility you will be having. So option ಯಾವುದು, option B is going to follow. Which one of the following keys are needed to copy a portion from a document in MS Word? Control plus C is for copy. Control plus V is for paste. Control plus X is for cut. Control plus Z is for undo. Similarly, you will be having O for open. Control plus S is for save, right. Control plus B while typing, it is for bold. Control plus I italic. Control plus U underline. Control plus P, it's for taking a print, right. So all these things are very very important. ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ಶಾರ್ಟ್ಕಟ್ಸ್ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, right. So that is which option, option A is going to follow. ಅದು ಕಾಪಿ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದರೆ, ಕಟ್ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದರೆ ಸಿ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು. 33ನೇ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ ಏನು ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ದ ಸಾಫ್ಟ್ವೇರ್ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ that acts as an interface between the user and www, that is World Wide Web. So ಯಾವುದು, it is web browser. ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಯಾವುದು, D. 34th question, what they are asking is, how do you select entire column in the case of MS Excel? So ಹೇಗೆ ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ, ಕ್ಲಿಕ್ ಆನ್ ದ ಕಾಲಮ್ ಹೆಡಿಂಗ್ ಲೆಟರ್. ರೋ ಏನಾದರೂ ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಂತಂದರೆ ರೋನಲ್ಲಿ ಲೆಫ್ಟ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಏನು ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಎಂಟೈರ್ ರೋ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಟೆಡ್. ಸೊ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಯಾವುದು, ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಸಿ ಈಸ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಫಾಲೋ. 35th ಕ್ವೆಶನ್, ವಿಚ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಫಾಲೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಸಾಫ್ಟ್ವೇರ್ ಡಿಸೈನ್ ಟು ಪರ್ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಸ್ಪೆಸಿಫಿಕ್ ಟಾಸ್ಕ್? ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಸಾಫ್ಟ್ವೇರ್, ಸಿಂಕ್ರೋನಸ್ ಸಾಫ್ಟ್ವೇರ್, ಪ್ಯಾಕೇಜ್ ಸಾಫ್ಟ್ವೇರ್, ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಸಾಫ್ಟ್ವೇರ್. So we know that we are going to make use of application software in order to perform some specific task. ಯಾವುದು ಆಪ್ಷನ್, ಆಪ್ಷನ್ A is going to follow. The distance between two consecutive threads is called as, so M32/2 ಅಂತ ಬರೀತೀರಾ. 32 is what, diameter, M is what, metric, and 2 is what, pitch. Distance between two adjacent threads is called as pitch. Option B is correct. If you are from EC background ಅಥವಾ EEE background ಏನಾದರೂ ಆಗಿದ್ರೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ಸ್ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಕಲರ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಸಿಲಿಂಡರ್ ನೋಡಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಯು ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ ಇನ್ ಎ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್ ಟು ಟೆಲ್ ವೆದರ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಫಿಲ್ಡ್ ವಿತ್ ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಡೈಆಕ್ಸೈಡ್ ಆರ್ ವಿತ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಆರ್ ವಿತ್ nitrogen or whatsoever, right. So color of the oxygen cylinder is black in color. Option ಯಾವುದು, D option. In order to soften the iron, which treatment method is required? It is annealing. Next ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಬರುತ್ತೆ, quenching ಅಂತ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. Sudden cooling of glass is called as quenching. 39th question ಏನು ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ, the time based signal in the case of cathode ray oscilloscope ಯಾವುದಿರುತ್ತೆ? sawtooth waveform. It is not rectangular waveform, sinusoidal waveform, square waveform. ಅಂದರೆ ಏನು, ರೆಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಬೇಸ್ಡ್ ಸಿಗ್ನಲ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಕೇಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಡೊಮೇನ್, ರೈಟ್. ಟೈಮ್ ಬೇಸ್ಡ್ ಸಿಗ್ನಲ್ನ ಯಾವುದಂತ ತೊಗೊತೀರಿ ನಾವು ರೆಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿ, sawtooth waveformನ ನಾವು ತೊಗೊತೀರಿ. ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಯಾವುದು, ಆಪ್ಷನ್ B ಈಸ್ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್. Factorize the following: x square minus 8x minus 33. Now look at the things. Factors of 33 is what? 11 and 3. We want minus sign, and moreover minus 8 anta ide. So minus 8 anta heldre negative value is dominating. So I'm going to assign it as a minus matte plus anta ತಗೊಂಡೆ. So ಇದನ್ನು ಹೇಗೆ ಬರ್ಕೋಬಹುದು? x square minus 11x plus 3x minus 33, which is equals to 0. No need to solve further. 11 and 3 is your option. X common ತಗೊಂಡ್ನ x minus 11 plus 3 times of x minus 11, which is equals to 0, which is equals to 0. X minus 11 equals to 0, x plus 3 equals to 0. That implies x equals to 11, x equals to minus 3. So the values are 11 and minus 3. So option yavudu barutte? Option A is going to follow. For the first question, majority charge carriers in the case of n-type semiconductor yavudu irutte? Electrons are having, or electrons are the majority charge carriers. Electrons are the majority charge carriers. In the case of p-type, holes are the majority carriers, right? Neutrons, no. Protons easily you delete, right? Option yadu? Option B is going to follow. For the second question, this question is a history based point of view, right? Recently current affairs ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. Allahabad is renamed as which one? Prayagraj. Who was the chief minister at the time? And now it is Yogi Adityanath, right? Option C is correct. ಸೊ ಒಂದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಪ್ಲೇಸಸ್ ನೇಮ್ಸ್ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅದು ಏನೇನು ಅಂತ ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಫಸ್ಟ್, ರೈಟ್? ವಿಚ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಫಾಲೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಕೆಪಾಸಿಟರ್ಸ್ ಈಸ್ ಅ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ಪೊಲಾರಿಟಿ? ನಾನು ಪ್ರೀವಿಯಸ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ನಲ್ಲೂ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ವೋಲ್ಟೇಜ್ ಡಿವೈಡರ್ ಬಯಾಸ್ ಮೆಥಡ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡೋ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಮೇಕ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿಸ್ CE ಕೆಪಾಸಿಟರ್. ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾಲಿಟಿಕ್ ಕೆಪಾಸಿಟರ್. This will be having the polarity. This will be having the polarity. But look at the things. This coupling capacitor will not be having the polarity. This coupling capacitor will not be having the polarity. CC1 and CC2 will not be having the polarity. But whereas the CE polarity irutte. Yav capacitor? Not air capacitor, not paper capacitor, not mica. It is electrolytic capacitor. Option ಯಾವ್ದು ಬರುತ್ತೆ? Option D is correct. 44th question, each of two cascaded stage amplifier has a voltage gain of 30. So the overall gain ಎಷ್ಟು ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. AVN equals to 30. Gain of the second stage I am going to take it as 30. So when the two gain blocks are connected in cascade, overall gain which is given as AV1 times of AV2. 3 gain stages ಏನಾದರೂ ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿದ್ರೆ into AV3, right? Which is 30 times of 30, which is 900. But say suppose if they are connected in series, but you are going to express the gain in a dB. But if say suppose you are expressing in terms of dB, overall gain ಎಷ್ಟು ಬರುತ್ತೆ? Overall gain will be 10 plus 10, which is 20 dB, which is 20 dB. So decibels ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾದರೂ ಕೇಳಿದರೆ ಗೇನ್ನ ಆ್ಯಡ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ರೈಟ್? ಡೆಸಿಬಲಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಳ್ತೀರಾ ಬರೀ ರೇಷಿಯೋದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾದರೂ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಮಲ್ಟಿಪ್ಲೈ ಇಟ್. ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಯಾವ್ದು ಬರುತ್ತೆ? ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಡಿ ಈಸ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಫಾಲೋ. 45th ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ ಏನು ಕೇಳಿದರೆ? ದಿ ಆವ್ರೇಜ್ ಪವರ್ ಡಿಸಿಪೇಷನ್ ಇನ್ ದಿ ಕೇಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಪ್ಯೂರ್ ಇಂಡಕ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಸ್ ವೆಲ್ ಆಸ್ ಪ್ಯೂರ್ ಕೆಪಾಸಿಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಈಸ್ 0. Is 0. Nothing but a resistor is a power hungry element. But see, say suppose if I am considering this inductor and capacitor, half a cycle alli power another consume madre, in half a cycle it is going to dissipate or it is going to give up. So over a period of 360 degree another consider madre, power dissipation another 0 irutte. Or in other words, I can define it as inductors and capacitors are referred as storage element, right? Consider the thyristors given below. Which one of the following can be used as a bilateral switch? See, in the case of SCR ಏನಿರುತ್ತೆ ಯೂನಿಲ್ಯಾಟ್ರಲ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಆ್ಯನೋಡ್ ಟು ಕ್ಯಾಥೋಡ್ ಮಾತ್ರನೇ ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಫ್ಲೋ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ರೈಟ್. But in the case of LASCR, instead of applying VAK, what you're going to do is a gate pulses apply ಮಾಡೋ ಜಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ you're going to eliminate the light. Similarly, you will be having diac and triac. So in the case of diac and triac, what is the simple change means? See, if I am writing like this, it will be diac, but simple change triac ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ you will be having this gate current also. Whether it is into or whether it is out of, right? So option ಏನು ಬರುತ್ತೆ triac. Option ಯಾವುದು? Option C. The acronyms are very very important. Silicon control rectifier, light activated silicon control rectifier, unijunction transistor, right? 47th question, it's a simple question what they have asked. See, ಏನಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ, XC equals to ABCD SOP ಫಾರ್ಮ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಪ್ಲಸ್ AB ಬಾರ್ CD ಪ್ಲಸ್ A ಬಾರ್ BCD ಪ್ಲಸ್ A ಬಾರ್ B ಬಾರ್ CD. This is very very important. Sequence they have changed. So sequence neatagi ಒಂದು ಆರ್ಡರಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. See, in these two things, what is common? ACD is common into B plus B bar plus A bar BCD plus A bar B bar CD. What is B plus B bar? It is 1. So I am going to have ACD plus A bar BCD plus A bar B bar CD. So now look at the things carefully. ACD, here it is A bar B CD and here it is A bar B bar CD. Now look at the things. A bar CD, I am going to take things as common. It is a B plus B bar plus ACD. This is ACD plus A bar CD into 1. Now again CD I am going to take it as common. A ಮತ್ತು A bar ನಾನು ಆ್ಯಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಏನಂತ ಬರುತ್ತೆ? If C say suppose A equals to 0, A bar will be 1. If A is 1, A bar will be equals to 0. So this is CD. Option ಯಾವ್ದು ಬರುತ್ತೆ? Option C is going to follow. 48th question. The silicon dioxide, that is SiO2 layer in an integrated circuit acts as a insulator. Now look at the things. This is source terminal, this is drain terminal. So ಏನು ಬರುತ್ತೆ? This is your channel which is tapered, right? So ಇದು polysilicon ಇರುತ್ತೆ. This one will be polysilicon, that is gate terminal, and this part is SiO2, right? So this is thin layer, right? Micrometer range ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. This is a thin layer, right? For further information, if I want to give, ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಡ್ರೈ ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೇಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೇಷನ್ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸ್ ಯಾವ್ದು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಡ್ರೈ ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೇಷನ್. ಬಟ್ ಅಟ್ ದಿ ಎಡ್ಜಸ್, ಇನ್ ಆರ್ಡರ್ ಟು ಅವಾಯ್ಡ್ ದಿಸ್ ಇಂಟರ್ಫರೆನ್ಸ್, ಸೊ ನಾವೇನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಪೋರ್ thick oxide. We are going to pour the thick oxide, right? Thick oxide, and the oxidation process is wet oxidation. So in the case of dry oxidation, yield is good, but process time is very much large. In the case of wet oxidation, yield is less, but the process speed will be very very fast, right? Option ಯಾವ್ದು ಬರುತ್ತೆ? Option B is going to follow. 49th question ಏನು ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, how many flip-flops are used to store 8-bit binary data? We know that flip-flop can store 1 bit of information. Q ಮತ್ತು Q ಬಾರ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಬಟ್ Q ಈಸ್ ಮೈ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಚುಯಲ್ ಡೇಟಾ ಅದು ಕಾಂಪ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ Q ಬಾರ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಫ್ಲಿಪ್ ಫ್ಲಾಪ್ ಈಸ್ ಅ ಬೈಸ್ಟೇಬಲ್ ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್. Flip-flop is a bistable element which can store a single bit of information. So 4 bits na store ಮಾಡಬೇಕಂತಂದ್ರೆ 4 flip-flops ಬೇಕು. 8 bits ನ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಂತಂದ್ರೆ 8 flip-flops ಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. Right? So this is very very important. So ಯಾವ್ದು flip-flop ಇರುತ್ತೆ? SR flip-flop, JK flip-flop, JK master slave flip-flop, D flip-flop and T flip-flop. ಸೊ ಯಾವ ಫ್ಲಿಪ್ ಫ್ಲಾಪ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಇನ್ ಆರ್ಡರ್ ಟು ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ದ ಡೇಟಾ, ರೈಟ್? ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಯಾವ್ದು ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ? ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಸಿ ಈಸ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಫಾಲೋ. ಮುಂಗೊಂಟು ದ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್, 50th ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ ಏನು ಕೇಳಿದರೆ 9:3 ಈಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ಸ್ ಟು x:24 ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಇದನ್ನು ನಾನು ಹೇಗೆ ಬರ್ಕೋಬೋದು? ಔಟರ್ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ಸ್, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ 3x ವಿಚ್ ಇಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ಸ್ ಟು 9 times of 24. ಸಿಂಪಲಾಗಿ ಹೇಗೆ ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡೋದು? 3's, that is x equals to 72. X equals to 72. So ratio based problems is also important. So this is all about the questions from 26 to 50. So in this video we have discussed from question number 26 to question number 50. So in the next video we are going to discuss question number 51 to question number 75. ಈ ವಿಡಿಯೋ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಏನಾದರೂ ಇಷ್ಟವಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ವಿಡಿಯೋ ಒಂದು ಲೈಕ್ ಕೊಡಿ ಹಾಗೂ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನಿಕ್ಸ್ ಕನ್ನಡ ಯೂಟ್ಯೂಬ್ ಚಾನಲ್ನ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಕ್ರೈಬ್ ಮಾಡೋದನ್ನು ಮರಿಬೇಡಿ. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ಸ್, ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು. ಸಿಗೋಣ ಮುಂದಿನ ವಿಡಿಯೋದಲ್ಲಿ.